Now, the British driver, Lewis Hamilton, was already something of a sporting hero because of his immense talent and audacity on the racetrack. Now he's become the Formula World Champion. He's also going to hit the jackpot. Lewis Hamilton is expected to become Britain's first billion-dollar sports star. The 23-year-old is the youngest ever Grand Prix World Champion and the only black driver to triumph in the sport. He won Sunday's race by the tiniest of margins and says he's already looking forward to winning next time in even greater style. Kevin Gabay has more.
With a hop and a skip, Lewis Hamilton has jumped to the top rung of sporting fame, somewhere he's almost been destined to reach. But yesterday in Sao Paulo, he left it late, very late. Felipe Massa had already won his home Grand Prix, sparking premature celebrations that the world title had come with it. Because back up the track, Hamilton had slipped back to 6th place when he needed to be 5th. But the huge gamble to change tyres to cope with the wet paid off when he caught and passed Timo Glock, seen here on the left. The title was his, and back home it was his supporters' turn to celebrate.
I continuously always think about the people that got me here, the sacrifices my family made, which then gets me all emotional. I think about my family back home, I think about all my fans who supported me all this time. I think about all the controversy, and all the pressure that people here put me under, and how intense the whole battle went right down to the wire.
Winner of the Yamaha, Lewis Hamilton.
The will to win had been acquired young. His exceptional talent was evident from his first days at the wheel of a go-kart. So too his sense of knowing where he was headed.
My ambition is to get to Formula 1, definitely. I enjoy the speed. I like to be with all the big guys, and I like to be making lots of money.
That much was almost guaranteed when McLaren nurtured his abilities and fast-tracked him to success. At the age of 23, he's Formula One's youngest world champion, with the prospect of staying at the top for years to come. As the first black champion, he's also hugely marketable. Already he has a contract and endorsements worth around £75 million over 5 years, with the probability of much more to come from sponsorship and advertising. Unusually in a rich man's sport, Hamilton comes from an ordinary background, a housing estate in Stevenage and a state school, where naturally he's a hero.
If you don't succeed, try and try again, because that's what he did and he's won the championship.
It was outstanding how he just pulled through and eventually just won.
To have got where he has so quickly is quite extraordinary. Perhaps inevitably along the way, Lewis Hamilton has made some enemies. But then again, becoming Formula One world champion is not about making friends, it's about winning races. Kevin Geary, BBC News at McLaren headquarters.
So Lewis Hamilton looks poised to become an even bigger sporting star now he's world champion. To examine his prospects, we're joined from Birmingham by Jonathan Gabay, who's a specialist in marketing and public relations. Jonathan Gabay, so do you have any doubt that Lewis Hamilton is going to become Britain's first billion-dollar sports star?
He's a billion-dollar man in terms of he's a billion-dollar brand man. Absolutely, I have no doubts at all. I think this is a fantastic story from a branding position, because this is the story of a humble guy who's done good. And actually, I think there's more to this story than first meets the eye. Because when Hamilton, a couple of years ago, we thought that he was going to actually become the champion, and then he didn't actually make it. This was actually better for him in terms of a brand, because what it did, it's like he was almost there, and then he made it. And that makes it a much more compelling story. It's the story of a man who conquered beyond doubt, that sort of idea. Fantastic story, don't you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, certainly people who know about these things, I can't say I'm an aficionado, but he does apparently have immense talent, and that's the thing, isn't it? He's not just a celebrity for the sake of it being famous. He has got this talent, but also very good-looking and charming, isn't he? So he could really go places.
He is the brand man's dream, because, as you say, he's charming, he's good-looking, he reflects what Britain is today. It's dynamic, it's get up and go. Honestly, you couldn't get a better brand personality, if you wish, than this young chap.
And he, of course, is of mixed race, and so we've already heard that members of Britain's black community are already saying, look, he's a black role model. Does that also add to his appeal, give him another dimension?
I think he's young, he's gifted, and he's British, and that's the thing. You see, I think he's going to appeal not just to the black community, but to all the community of Great Britain. I think that's a fantastic thing. The fact that he is black, this is definitely a week in terms of people who are black and actually making it big, I think this is fantastic.
And does this kind of person have lasting appeal? I mean, if he continues to win races, does that mean that he's going to continue to be popular with a lot of people?
Oh, absolutely. I think what he's got to do, he's got to be careful. This is the one thing, he's got to be careful, because what happens with some celebs, I'm talking about brand personalities, is that they make it big, and then they kind of, the fame and all that sort of idea goes to their head, but not in this case, because, I mean, in this case, this young man has a fantastic dad who's actually brought him up in terms of understanding how to manage things, and I think that he's going to go very, very far.
OK, Jonathan Gabay talking about Lewis Hamilton there. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.